Hi, welcome back to Path's virtual art enrichment program. This week we're going to finish up our butterfly project. Last week we did the watercolor backgrounds and colored our butterflies. So this week we're going to put it all together and talk about some of the quotes of inspiration that I've included for you. This week assembling the collage is pretty straightforward, so I encourage you to get out your colored butterflies and your watercolor page and grab the dark sheet of paper that I've included in your packet and some scissors and some glue, and feel free to start cutting out those butterflies as I walk you through the project and as I discuss the quotes that I've included for you. As you're cutting out your butterflies, I just wanted to point out that I don't go right up to the outline of the butterfly. I give it a little bit of white space. It makes the cutting easier, and it gives it a little bit of an outline that can be pretty interesting. So don't feel like you have to go around every single little curve and dimple in the butterfly's body. Once you get the butterflies cut out, you can put them right onto the darker piece of paper that I provided for you, and then cut around them again, leaving a little bit of an edge. It just helps the butterflies stand out against the busyness of the background we created. But as you can see, my daughter wanted to just use one butterfly and she put it directly on the page and it still looked beautiful. So feel free to make it yours and do what you'd like. And then we'll take a look at the quotes and you can choose which quote you want to include. So the first quote we have is by Maya Angelou, and she says, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." And I'd like to take that part by part and talk about what she means here to give us some things to think about. She begins with, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly." And I think we can all agree on that we look at a butterfly and we see its beauty and we enjoy watching them fly around. And then she goes on to say, "But rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." And I think she's very right there. We look at the butterfly, but we don't always think about the caterpillar that it was and the chrysalis that it had created and all the amazing changes it had to go through to become that butterfly. And she's saying that here so that we can reflect on that and how it's true in our lives. Sometimes we see how far we've come and how well we're doing now as beautiful butterflies. But we forget that we went through a lot to get to this point. And maybe we even see other people's lives that look really great, but we need to realize that they probably went through some changes too in order to get there. Our next quote is by Trina Paulus, and she starts off with the question, "How does one become a butterfly?" You have to want to learn to fly so much that you are willing to give up being a caterpillar. And I like how she asks the question and then answers it for us. And her point is really, really deep and profound. You have to want to learn to fly so much that you're willing to give up being a caterpillar. And I think that's really true for a lot of us, that we want to be a butterfly, we want to be more, but there's something we're holding on to, just like the butterfly has to give up being a caterpillar. We can't hold on to our caterpillar ways. We need to let go of them so that we can learn to fly. And our third quote is by Naya Rivera, and she says, "Butterflies can't see their wings. They can't see how truly beautiful they are, but everyone else can. People are like that as well." And I really like that because I never thought about butterflies that way. They don't necessarily have the ability to turn around and look at their own wings, but we can see their beauty. And that applies to people. Sometimes we can see beauty in other people that they don't see in themselves, and we really wish they could. And I think that applies to us. Other people might see our beauty, but we don't always recognize that. And so maybe it's time to take some time and really appreciate our own beauty, the beauty that others see in us. Well, I hope one of those quotes really spoke to you and you decide to use it in your project. And at this point, I took all the little elements that I cut out, arranged them a few times on my background until I found a layout that I liked, and then glued them all down and put it in my art journal, actually. So thank you so much for doing art with me today, and I hope to see you at the center soon, and have a great week.